You're welcome to join if you want, to hold energy and space for the humanity, people that are in need of this energy and calm or peace on the planet. So just to hold this energy because it ripples out into the field. So you're welcome to join. Just with him, I was about to sit in meditation anyway. And then there was this guide to, why not? I was going to do that. Why not do it, for the collective? She wants to join, but just hold this energy. Here we are. That was the calling. So we're doing that. There's those that need this at this moment. There are ones here that need this. So anyone that would like to join, please join. There are those on the planet now that need this energy, need this love, need this peace. There are those that are leaving their bodies right now as well. So we can help them transition to the other side. So if you want to join, please join. Holding that love and that peace. A direct portal to the divine's been opened here. Oh, it's so good. Wow. Hmm. It's okay for those brothers and sisters that are leaving their body or have just left their body in Asia. Return back to source, they are right. There's so many angels, the portals open for those to go home again. There are so many angels here. So they're good, all right. They are not being lost, they're leaving their body and going straight home. There's an enormous amount of light, the portals open here. So lovely. There's a lot of angels to help as well. Lots of love and support. An immense amount of light. So the portal to the self is now fully open. That's what you can see. So that is now the connection, the oneness, the source again. Yes. Oh, wonderful. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's like you can say like a great reset, but the line or the portal's open, and it's kind of a, let's say, going across the planet. It's a, oh wow. Yes. Mm. Kind of what I'm getting is the separation then between here and there is is now no longer. So it can, that veil, that separation, is gone. It's like a unity between the, yeah, the form and the self, or the formless. No more separation. So this was a guided, inspired, on the moment thing. Kind of what you experience is the divine reset, actually. This is what's happening. It's the divine is reset, the energy and the field and what was the veil that separated you. Well, perceived veil. Feels like a clean slate in a way. Think of it, I suppose you could say something like that. Divine reset. So what I'm getting is that portal's now open. And not to worry about our brothers that are leaving, okay? There were a lot here to take them home, to welcome them home the minute they left their bodies. You know, to remind them, and they were greeted, and they were so many angels too. So not to worry, okay? Yeah, they're very happy. Very happy. They're being helped back home. Welcomed, I should say. So anyone in need, just bathe in the light, bathe in their energies, because they're here for you. There's a lot of angelic presence, a lot of divine presence here. And light for you to bathe in if you need it, okay? So that source love is emanating out to you, all right? So if you're needing love, you're needing that light, you're needing that angelic presence being emanated out to you, okay? Directly from source. Okay, the body's getting tired. Sorry, that's a lot of energy to move through this body. So the body's just like wow. The energy's there, the physical body is just, you know, that's a lot of energy. Is you know, takes it to go through there. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, lovelies. Hello. Who knows? This was just a guidance as I was about to sit in meditation, just to sit in meditation, you know, and then also for those, because, you know, there were some earthquakes going on in Asia today. So, you know, there would be people needing love and peace and calm. And then I was showing, yeah, some needing, you know, some leaving their bodies. So we can assist there. And I actually channeled that a few years ago. That we can assist those, you know, leaving the body. Many, you know, who have these big things. By doing this, by being there and guiding them, you know, when they leave their body. So in these situations on earth, when these things happen, all we need to do is go within, okay? And then we can assist when there's a big mass event or mass death, we can assist these with the angels, okay? To comfort them, to help them, to guide them, be there and help them, you know, when they leave their body. So there's many energies we can hold. We can hold peace, we can hold comfort, we can hold calm, you see. Yeah. A lot of change. There's a big reset. The energies, they say, this is a divine reset. This is not a human reset. This is the divine doing this. It's changing energies and changing things. But for good. You know. It knows. Changing the human conditioning, let's say. So there we are. Who knows? This was a random, complete random, yeah, go live and do it. Let's say, all right. So, you know, that energy is transmitted as well. And who knows who needs anything. Yes, at the moment you will be. Same with this body. Sometimes you can have one day active, the next day you're just going to be like, wow, like seriously tired, resting, sleeping a lot. Because we have a reset of energy going on and a huge amount of light coming in, right? So as I said, the light keeps increasing. These frequencies and vibrations on the planet are rising. And they're constantly rising. That's why. So your body can get used to it. So when you're feeling exhausted, it's because your body's now, a huge amount of new, higher frequency light and energies come in. And now your body has to recalibrate. You see, so this is why also all the emotional drama goes on, because it pushes out the density, which is tears, anger, hate. All your unprocessed emotions are not going to stay in anymore. That's it. Its time is up now. Everything that was never processed by you, never felt by you, where you suppressed your tears and things like that, are being pushed out. See, this is what it does. And then your body gets used to that frequency, and then poof, we get another CME or influx of light, and which is a higher frequency and vibration. So our bodies are actually constantly now increasing in light, frequency, and vibration. That's what's been happening. And this is why, especially right now, you're going to feel very tired. And trust your guidance. If you feel you need to sleep, if you need to rest, absolutely, please do that. Okay, listen to that, because it's very important for the body. So sometimes you might just stay in bed. Don't try and force it right now, okay? The body has to acclimate and get used to this. And it's constant now, and it's frequent. At the moment, there's a big one. It's quite this is a big reset happening, and a porthole that opened. So to shift, it's like say the toilet's been flushed, there we are, all that out. Now there's, you're going to feel a bit, because now it's a new energy and you have changed as well. So it's kind of, you're going to feel a bit like the old you is gone. But the patterns and programs, you know, don't listen to them. They just, you know, noise. Don't listen to the noise, the voice, the thoughts. Okay. It's gone. It's just residue or memories. You know, the parrot still goes on, depends on how much his inner work was done. Okay. So yes, that's a very normal thing. And like now, same with the body can get like, because when you, let's say when the body's channeling a huge amount of a very high energy, it takes a while for the body to, you know, adjust again, get used to it. There we are, you know, it's pulling in that energy. Anyway, at least that's open. There's no more of that, so there doesn't have to be any more separation, you see. It's just the mind. It's actually a thought, if you pay attention, that you are a separate self. There isn't a separate one at all. There's no ego, no separate one. That's only a thought, literally. You can actually observe it. As the gurus say, there is no separate one or no ego. That's actually only a thought. It's like any program. It's a persistent thought. But there is no one there, you see. Anyway, you're very welcome, darling. Very welcome. There we are. This was a guided thing, who knows. Energy to assist humanity right now. So don't forget, for those of you that are awake, we can do this, okay? We can help people in times like this, right? When there's any event, so-called, going on, we can play guides to help them cross over too. Hold the energy, call in the angels, open the portholes, you know. We can do these things because you're that. You see, that is you. It's all you. It's all the one. There's no separate one. That one's just got a slight different frequency to you because it has slight different, the body has different stories and beliefs and things. So that body will have a different frequency to you because of its energies it's holding, its emotions and thoughts, but it is still source. And if you emptied all the vessels, they would be absolutely identical because there would be no difference. They're all source. It's all the same one. Everything is source. Okay. That's the only thing that changes the density or the frequency are all the thoughts and stories it's holding and energies it's holding, you see. That the body is holding because it believed, first of all, it was a separate one. Whatever story it's told itself or, you know, taken on. There we are. Yes, it is difficult. When you've got no awakened people around you, it's very difficult, yeah. In that aspect. But that's also a reason why. So you get to identify your energies. Not yours, but yeah, what you're holding here. Because when you're constantly with other people and you're not isolated, then when you wake up, it's very difficult to discern what you're feeling, who's feeling, because you're being influenced. You're in their energy field all the time. So when you first wake up, you are isolated normally. You're going to be pulled away from everybody. Why? So you can go within. Secondly, so you can identify the programs and nonsense and start your dark night of the soul. But also then you realize that it's my energy. You see, otherwise you constantly, if you're surrounded by very heavy negative patterns and other people, you're always, their energy is affecting you and you're not realizing it. So it's to discern what is here coming from you and what's coming from another too. You see. So there's a reason for the isolation when you wake up. It's very useful. You get to know your energy, manage your energy, all these things you get to learn, you see. And there's a lot of purging that goes on. So there's a lot of crying, a lot of looking at the self, a lot of self-work, you know. No, thank you. That's a distorted view. That's just fear. You see? That's fear. That's the consciousness. This is a Maya, my friend. It's created by your thoughts. Yeah, it's created by your thoughts. And what you are experiencing is a bubble that you are living in. And it's being projected out there. So if you spread your fear and you get everyone to buy in your fear, you get everyone to manifest a collective doom and gloom. then you're going to you get everyone to buy into their own destruction, because you manifest as source. You see? So if you want to spread fear, that's your business. But we don't do it here. Get to know who you are, what you are, and then you will see what this reality actually is. It's a mirror, it's a reflection of your fears, your distortions, and your consciousness. It's the thoughts. Stop listening to the mind. We will solve it. We have solved it. Focus on that. You see? Because that's what you're projecting into the field. And then you get the collective to focus on it, what they want, and a positive future, and to see that. And that is what collectively manifests. These are the different timelines, you see. People have got to stop looking out there at all their fears and horrors and blames, and go within, because it's all within. Okay, my friend. Scientists will tell you that there is no physical reality. There we are. So science has already solved that problem. The mind, the program in each individual, has to do your own work. Ask any guru, they'll tell you. Science is now proving what the gurus have always said. See it for yourself. No, that is source. That is source. Source is that. And the more believe it, the more fear it, the more spread it, the more it will happen too. That is source. Everything is source. Nothing is not source. There is nothing in existence. There is no you. There is source. There's the difference. There is nothing not source. It is the earth, it is the water, it is the sand, it is the body, every form here, everything. You understand? So if you focus on, if you understand how it works and you see and you observe it, the thoughts, if you focus on, whatever you focus on, you give it energy, it expands, it becomes bigger in your reality. So if you focus on what you don't want, it only gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You feed it energy. So that is actually, it becomes almost unavoidable. And that is what you will get. This is why we do not focus on the outcome we do not want. We do not give it energy. We don't feed it. You see, we understand that. And we have that faith and trust, and we relax it into source. There is only source here. That is what you are. This is the Maya. This is your dream, your illusion. That's it. There we are. It's all the same one. There we are. It's all going to be good. Even those, what's meant to be is meant to be. You see. It all is divine, because if those believe it, focus on it, that's what they draw to them. You see, so it still is the divine. They're manifesting. Source will say, okay, is that what you expect and want? And that's what you will get. You understand? It's all, yeah. As the Buddhas or Gurus say, there is, everything is divine. Can't jump up and down and shout blame or anything afterwards. No, it's okay, darling. I used to see all the time. This is what the gift was here, a gift of the seer. And I saw all these things, all these, the changes on earth, the changes to come, the earthquakes, the movements. There's nothing that wasn't seen. Doesn't matter. We release it and we trust source and we focus on the new earth. What's meant to be is going to be. Understand? There is one divine plan, one divine player. And the more of us that focus on the new earth and what we want and the vision on what's falling, as I say, because whatever you focus on, thought, attention, even a thought, it gets bigger and bigger, as you notice. More and more thoughts. Everything has a frequency and vibration. We want to raise the collective to the highest frequency and vibration, which is the highest, most positive outcome. So we focus on the highest and most positive thing in order to raise the collective onto that. There's only that. There's energy and frequencies. Simple. So this is why even we see those things, we release it. There we are. We don't focus on it. We focus on what we want. We trust, we faith, we visualize. You see, we hold that. All is a frequency and vibrations, very important. Oh, fantastic. Lovely. So don't worry about those things. You've seen many timelines. Much was shown you. In the beginning, all I saw was that. And eventually I said, I don't want to anymore. Because otherwise you were spreading, you were like and of course people just want to, oh my gosh, you're spreading doom and gloom. So all I was doing was telling people this is going to happen and that's going to happen and this is coming and that's coming and that's all that was happening here. You see? And that's not fun. But it is what it is. That was, that's the gift that was given, was the gift of the seer. But then you realize you've got the collective focus. Once you understand also energy, frequency, and vibration, you also, okay, you see that, but you also trust in what's meant to be, and whatever they've manifested, each one will be. So I released all that, you see. But that was, plenty in the beginning. That was, sometimes I will still be shown things. But you can ask, but I don't try and insist either, because I did then say I don't want to, so it stopped, you see. You're interfering too. You're trying to direct. So now I've just surrendered to Source. I've surrendered, and whatever, you don't try, because then I try to stop that. It was like, I was always shown all these things. And they weren't wrong. That was not the nice part, We shifted some timelines as well. So there's different timelines as well. You see, there's not one version, because it isn't a solid reality here. It's an illusion. It's a Maya as well. So release it. Doesn't mean because you see it, it has to be. Release the fear. Release your, just release it. Don't have any outcome. Oh, it can't, it mustn't. This. Okay, just release it. Don't focus on it. It's not the one you want it. But if it's going to be, your guidance, follow your guidance. If you're guided to move, then you move. But don't hold that fear or that thing as a must, as anything set in stone, because nothing's set in stone. You've shown it so you can change timelines or avoid things, or you know what I mean? Not focus on it. But these things come with time. You learn all these things on your ascension journey. You learn a lot. You change, and as you rise, you get more, more knowledge, more wisdom, about understanding of these things. Yeah, it's you've got to look at what the fear is. That you see, most of it's listening to the voice, Maisha. So the whole idea is to stop listening to the thoughts, and reprogram the mind. They are coming from beliefs and programs or stories or experiences. Fear. That's all it does. You see. And if we ignore it, it just gets louder and louder. So I've shared lots. Bashar's channeled actually some of the best stuff to go listen to about the negative beliefs, the thought systems. Bashar's shared some of the best channelings on that. So go follow Bashar and understand the thoughts and defining the negative thoughts, positive thoughts, if that's coming in, where they're coming from. You see, it's the mind, it's a program. Everything. That's all thoughts are. It's a Maya. So you can reprogram them, you can do affirmations, but it's watching if it keeps coming up, because it's trying to show you a message. This is a negative belief or fear that you have. Why? So you can release it. You don't have to choose it, you see. It's a messenger, actually. That's all. So we can change that, because it's showing you, do you want to create that? You're like, no, maybe not. That's not... That won't be, good for you, basically. So that's what they are. Meditation calms the nervous system. Don't fear them, because it's a thought. Literally, you realize it's only a thought. It's just thoughts. Thoughts create the Maya. That's what the Guru say. Don't listen to your thoughts, because that's it. You're not them. You are the divine itself. You're the observer here. So you find you meditate and you stay in that place of silence, you focus on source, you'll see they'll start going. The light will start also, when you focus on them, brings your attention, you see it and you release it, it leaves. And then you see it, this is what they call the purging or the dark night of the soul. All the shit starts coming out the system. It's being released, it's being seen. It needs to be seen, it needs to be felt, because whatever we denied and try to hide, this is what's happening right now. You're very welcome. I shared a good one. If you go to my TikTok, I shared lots of stuff, plenty over the years. But I've just shared a recent screenshot of a short video explaining as well, very good explanation of how to feel them and release those. Just observe it and just to release those energies. Don't judge it, just watch what comes up, release that fear, release that hurt, just release it. Okay, but you've got to feel it. So what you're doing is sitting as, it's a feeling. Don't identify with the energy. Don't identify with the sadness. Don't claim it, let's say. You see it, oh, okay, that's sadness. And you allow the sadness, hello sadness, welcome the sadness, and just let it move through the body and it will just leave. Simple as that. Greet it, hello sadness. It's an energy. It just wants to be acknowledged and then it will leave and felt. Doesn't matter what, that's actually all they're asking for. But when you start to see the illusionary eye, when it starts saying, oh, that's the parrot, that's just an illusion. It's a thought. There is no separate one. It's only a thought. But it's a persistent little thought if you watch it. Well, yeah, anyway. You can listen to Eckhart Tolle, Rupert Spira. I've shared lots under the non-duality. You'll learn a lot if you start listening to that. But understanding how the thought systems work and messengers, Bashar is one of the best channels. A lot of people share his work. One of the best channels to listen to understand the mechanism of these, and they act as messengers. They're just trying to show you what beliefs and fears you hold so you can let them go, because if you don't let it go, you are radiating that fear out, and then what happens is you attract everything at that same frequency and vibration, so you can put yourselves in harm's way. You see, you draw more fear. Fear attracts fear, same thing. So that's the only reason why these things are brought up, for you to see. No. All right, release it. You are pure love. Fear is an illusion created by a thought of a separate self, because it believes it is separate, and a thought has no power. It's only a thought, of course. That's why you feel powerless and fearful when you believe I am Joe, Soap, Jane, Doe, whatever. Something, some body that has a name. And it's the body that somebody named, but it's not you. You don't, That's all. Yes. Yes. That is the you. You'll see more and more now people will start experiencing what you call the void, emptiness, nothingness. That is source. To get you used to the self, to acclimate back to the self. If you go listen to the highest teachings and the gurus, non-duality, I've shared some. I've actually opened starting to get people used to it. I've opened a playlist on my on my TikTok for non-duality. People start understanding. They need to know who you are, what you are. So you will start getting used to that emptiness. That's why you feel so wonderful when you meditate and you transcend the mind. You get into that nothingness. There's no mind. You're only an energy. And you get that feeling of, it's like when you sleep. Why? Because there's no fucking thoughts. There's no the story nonsense, illusion going on. There's just emptiness, silence, peace, bliss. That's what you are. You are that emptiness. This is you, yeah. Right here. Watching you. This is you. All of this. You see, you are the energy that moves the body. There we are. It's amazing. Yeah, and it feels so beautiful when you're in touch with the self. That's why you like it. That's why you like sleeping. You can shut the parrot up for 5 minutes and have peace. It's like the body needs, oh my gosh, I need to rest. Because all the energy has been expended on thoughts and being put outside. This, that, you know, whatever, distractions and people and all kinds of things. It's like so now when you connect to the self and you bring that energy, you are re-energizing the body and the body actually, because now you are tapping into the divine, and you are now, it's like plugging yourself into a battery charger. This is why people look younger, have more energy, because what you are, the energy is not being all expended into the outside so-called world. It's being now absorbed. You see, you are being more and more absorbed into the self, into the field of oneness. There is no separate one. There's actually no one at all, but never mind. This is something you'll start to see when you do your work. You start, as you rise, the more you will see, the more you'll see. The more will be shown, the more understanding will be shown of what this is, what it looks like, how the reality is, what actually, But yeah, to rest in that peace and that emptiness, that's it. And more people will be, you'll see. That is, they say, source. That's why they call it source. The void, the emptiness, the nothingness, the oneness, wholeness, infinite, the ultimate, whatever you want to say, yeah. And that's what you see as well when you communicate with source. You don't see any form, you know what I mean? It's just that energy, and yeah, it's amazing. Amazing. Yes, you automatically start being healthier, taking more care of yourself, eating better, everything changes. Because you're not running on the parrot anymore, which has no energy because it's a thought. It's an illusion. It's actually quite funny when you realize it. This me or I, it doesn't exist. There isn't one. It's a thought, literally. You were taught as a child, and people call you like, oh, okay, that, no, that's not you. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yes. Although I've been doing it for a few days, but yesterday and today the opposites happened. Opposite, actually. So, yeah, it was like rest and density. So now you wanted like this, maybe, I don't know, food. Who knows? The body just wanted, anyway. But I sometimes think it's more than thoughts as well. Anyway, yeah. All right, lovely people. That was interesting. Who knows? Still lovely energy there. Wow, you're sitting in this energy. I don't know if you can feel it. And if you guys are tapped in, just sit and feel that energy. A lot though. It's really, So sleeping, I don't think it's going to be really happening too much. You're welcome. There, you see, the wisdom comes from the divine. And it comes from being, the more you're connected to the divine, the more you meditate, the more you're in that space. You see, the more shown, the more you rise, the more, same thing. You seek that. But also this one sought that, and it was driven to the non-dual path, you see. Like the gurus, to really go back. No more, separation. Completely oneness with the self. So, yeah, there's just, I don't know, and you can basically really give the body up to completely service to the self, to source, complete service. You offer the body as an absolute service to the divine. And that's it. And you just hand it over. And the divine will use the body however it wants to use the body for the highest and greatest good, That's what you offer. Yeah. You are so welcome, darling. I think TikTok's going to do its this TikTok puzzle thing. It's going to do a puzzle now, and I've got to, sorry. TikTok does this. If you're on for an hour, a little puzzle piece popped up and it wants to cancel your live. This is AI, but it's not programmed very well because it says it doesn't detect any movement or anything going on your live when you're talking and moving. And then everyone, all of us are having this thing with TikTok now. There's some new thing they put on there. So the minute your live reaches an hour, and TikTok, that's it, we haven't detected anything, we're going to cut you off. And your screen goes like blank and a little thing pops up here and you've got to start playing puzzle. Or they want to cut your live off. Well, they normally follow, what you do. So if you do meditations and you're playing those things and listening to it and, your energy, the energy you hold in things will obviously affect the children around. But if you make it fun, so you can do yoga with them and meditate with them and things like that. And there's lots of interesting things like these wisdom schools where they're teaching children to see and all these kind of things to learn. So that's more fun when you're young. Kids want to have fun. So you can start teaching them to feel energy or read things, tap in, little psychic courses. They're like that, big time. So they can learn, wow, okay, that's probably the best gift, because once they tapped into their own intuition, their own source, there we are. Then they can have that divine guidance, and far better, far safer for any child, So that would probably be a good thing to do. Teach children that. All right, anyway, so I don't think sleeping's going to happen because the body's got a real charge during that meditation. And wow, the energies are like... I felt it. If you're very in tune to energies, you've noticed in a couple of days we've had incoming. And you could feel when you're in bed sometimes your cells are vibrating. Your cells start going zzz, so they've got another like zoop. And then of course that is going to settle into the body because you feel it coming into the planet. And then then the body starts recalibrating. And then sleep goes, sometimes sleep doesn't, if it gets too much of a charge, that's it. Sleep is just not happening. And then after that, you'll find an extreme exhaustion. So you go from one like this, a peak, and then like, oh, I'm finished. Like, I'm tired. I don't know. You see, because it depends on the child. There's a couple of books. Oh, now I'm trying to think. I actually mentioned them on a TikTok video I did for people, for newbies. You see, Conversations with God, book 1, 2, and 3 is a little bit more for the Christian or the older, that are now getting used to this. For young children or teenagers, depends how, if they've had any strict religious upbringing. There's so many, man. The Law of One, The Power of One. There's tons. I can't remember them all now offhand. Can't remember them offhand, but yeah, there are some good ones. Look into them there. And for teenagers, they'll be more into, like you say, learning to hone their gifts, like channeling and cards and blah, 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 and things like that. Maybe telepathy. Depends on the child. You see what they're drawn to. The Secret, The Power of One, all those things. I don't know because I didn't read any books. The only one I listened to when I woke up was Conversations with God. Neil Donald Welsh, part 1, 2, and 3. And then when I started my awakening, there weren't that many people out there. So it was like quite a, what the hell's going on? Learn your own way kind of thing. It was really learning your own way through. And then I started being guided to videos on, as synchronicities, as you needed to find them or the answers. I would find videos as you're at that level. So you're guided. And then you were guided to this. And then, you outgrew that. And then you were guided to new channel. And then you got to a point where I remember saying the thing here. all these light workers, they were all kind of at the same level. So it was a blind leading the blind, because you get to a certain level and then, you know, it's like you hit a ceiling, and then it was like you just, there's more to this than just learning tarot and reading energy and doing that. That's fun. Those are the abilities that come with your being awake, remembering. But that's not what you are. So everybody gets stuck playing with the guides and the angels and all that sort of ascended masters as a separate one, you see. So I got to the point where I just thought, this is kind of the blind leading the blind here. And, you know, you wanted more. You wanted to know, like, the highest truth. And that's when I started going, you know, as I say, I started then going to the real teachings of the gurus, the Buddhas, and started being guided that way. And then I started this, I heard some teaching. I shared that channel as well. They've actually got lots of followers. There's a very good channel on TikTok, on YouTube, which it's called, something about the masters, wisdom of the masters, or ascended masters, something like that. And she shares all the teachings of the, what you want to call ascended masters, the real proper, you know, the highest teachings that you can get. And I listened to one, it was a Christian mystic like Jesus that reached that, and said there is no ego. That's the illusion, that's the Maya, that's the lie, that there's an ego, there's a separate one. There isn't one. And that has always been the highest teaching, there isn't. And the minute I heard that, I knew it was true. It was just resonated. So you believe that you are a separate one, and there's me and God. That's the problem. That's the illusion. It is an illusion. And when I heard that, it just resonated, and you just knew. And then I just dived into that path, but without guidance. So it got a bit bumpy. But that seems to be the way this one has gone. And then I was shown a guru in my vision, and I started following a guru, just to help you through the last bit. You know, the emptiness, the actual, yeah, that's, anyway, whole story, yeah. Yeah, when the actual thing falls away, the Maya, when you're shown, you know, start seeing the reality, it's a big shock when you really believe that everything's real, and, you know, the car, and you want to, all these things are real, and you, and it's like, ooh, yeah, it's not what it seems. And it can be, what kicks in is, you see, as even Bashar channels this, when you get closer to spirit, to source, your ego, you can feel immense fear, such a high, because it's a high frequency, because the ego knows it's death, it's an illusion, it's fear. It fears it, and that's what happens when you start the non-dual path, because it is the death of this illusionary self, literally. And it really kicks back, it really kicks off. So you can have a real visceral reaction from the illusion when you starting the non-dual path, because it's like terrified. It does not want to know it. It's like, no, that's, you know, it feels absolute fear. So you can go through some real bumpy times if you don't have the guidance. And of course, you know, the planet's waking up. How many of us have got a guru on our doorstep? Thank goodness for the internet. So that's how I found this guru, just to kind of explain some of the things you were going through. And, you know, and then they're normal and the different phases of the awakening. Yes. Yes, when you get very close to, yes. It is, because it's a death for the illusionary one, literally. I remember when, you know, when that portal opened, it was like, ah! It was horrified, because it was going to disappear. That's it. No more you. That's it. That's what really happens. The illusionary character is withdrawn, and they become one with source again. There's no separate identity there at all. And the ego knows that very well, or the illusionary self that wants to play stories. Because the stories come to an end. There's no more Maya. There are no more stories anymore, you see. Yeah. Yes. You go through a lot of paradox. It becomes kind of a paradox, the feeling. And I remember going through this, and I was like talking about it and all these, yeah. But you didn't have anyone to, you know, to tell you what you were experiencing, that it was normal, or guide you through this, because it's the highest teaching. It was only ever done normally in, you know, in Buddhist monasteries, They only select a few people, or it's done by gurus and they would only choose a few and they would, they'd get the highest teachings. So it was like, there you were, high and dry, It's funny. But anyway, there we are. An experience. Yeah. Beautiful though. Yeah, but then when you realize it isn't, and when you realize it's a thought, you when you actually see it and understand that it's only a thought, that there is no separate one at all, then it's like, oh, right, Yeah. But it's part of the process, it's part of what's just the Great Awakening, and each will be guided and will go through as they're ready, that's divine grace and that's divine love. So it won't be too much for the body or for that one to handle. So they're going to be, and also how much they're seeking to do the work, because most are still looking out there. They don't realize everything is a mirror. So they're still blaming and wanting to change, not understanding the actual reality. So the only thing you should be focusing on is what it's reflecting here. What's in your experience? Why it's in your experience, and then you start looking within. You purify the vessel here, and then we'd have this perfect, it'll be reflected out there. Heaven on earth, as they say. That's where humanity's going. So the more they do, the more you clean up here, purify, all of that, that's it. Yeah. Because the self has nothing. It doesn't have a story. You don't have a story. You don't have a life. There isn't any. You are the divine watching all of the one. You're watching this manifest form which you manifest. You're watching the movie, but you're not in the movie. You see, we've identified, we think we're the character in the movie. No. There isn't. It's a empty form. The body doesn't have any of these abilities as such. Anyway, all right. I'm thirsty, people. I need to drink something. I'm sending you lots of love. Be at peace. Okay. Just trust. Be at peace. Let go. As much as you can. Sit in stillness. Sit in quietness. Sit in love. Sit in harmony. Be at peace. Be at love. All right. Try not to judge, hate, anger. Just try to find inner peace and love and know all is that. All right. All is that. There is, so even the one that you think is doing the worst thing, it is that. Have love and compassion for the suffering that is going on. All right. It's only because they don't know who they are. Or they're playing a role. Because remember, it's an illusion. They're playing a role. They're filling a part. They're playing a mirror to somebody else. You see? But anyway. There is no one to blame here. There's only one here. And if we understand that it's a mirror, we will stop it. And then it will all come to an end. So much love. Bye.